Hari Om and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. This is Yamuna Devi. Thank you. You know, as a human being, this is not only the physical body. We also have emotions and we go through certain experiences that trigger different emotions, right? We need to understand happiness to understand sadness and sadness to receive happiness. These are the two sides of the coin, this duality that exists everywhere, like hot and cold, day and night, light and darkness. All these things exist in the world. And emotions are really important and a deep part of us so that we can understand what is going within, what is happening within, what is going on within us. So that is why it's important to take a little time for yourself. You know, what I've been seeing lately is that many people suppress the emotion. They want to say that they are not emotional beings, that they don't feel, because it's easier. If you think about that, it's easier to not feel anything, right? To just be numb. But there are consequences to that numbness. There are consequences. So feeling is a part of us to allow us to understand what is happening within us. What is happening, what triggers us, what, makes us not feel happy, what makes us not feel good. But above all of this, as we observe the emotion, we learn how to coexist and we learn how to manage these emotions. Because what happens when the emotion is not managed? Listen to how I say managing and not controlling emotions. So people misuse that word of controlling, and control is aggressive, right? Control is using force to have something in order, but managing is you observing it and you understand how to work through it, help it. So if you are mindful of your emotions, then you can manage them. But if you are not mindful of your emotions and you believe that no emotions exist, that you don't feel anything, then what are you going to manage? Right? So observing, witnessing the emotion as it comes, we observe, not reacting to that emotion, because that can cost us a lot of pain in the long run, cost us energy. We waste our energy, our vitality, our strength, because we misuse the energy instead of transforming that emotion to something different. This is why experience is attached to an emotion and an emotion is attached to an experience. This is something else that happens. So if we think of a sad moment, we will remember in our files of memories, we will see that emotion and that memory will show up. Same thing. If you look at a memory, pick any memory, it will trigger an emotion. If you see a photo that is a happy photo, it will make you happy. Or it will make you remember, like, oh, when I was traveling, so much fun, we ate this and that, and it'll bring happiness. So this is why it's important to observe. Now I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to give you an example of that suppression, which is commonly used here. Suppression of emotion, very common. And why? That is an escape mechanism. It's very easy to escape from that emotion, to cover it, to bury it. But there are consequences on the long run, which will cost us more life, more energy to keep up with that, to cope with that energy that has been buried. That is why I tell everyone, observe your emotion. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to cry. People say, sorry, I'm crying. No, I'm no one first to judge. Only holding space for the people. And that is liberating. That experience of sadness, of crying is liberating. The same way you laugh, right? When you find something really, really funny, and you know the games that you try to hold your laugh because whoever laughs loses. That laughter is a form of energy as well. So what happens when we suppress the energy? I'll give you an example, right? Something recent. I went to jury duty. And jury duty, for those of you who don't know, is serving the United States of America. We as a citizen have a right to serve the country by being a part of the jury, to observe and to give our opinion to certain criminal cases, right? So this was a criminal case. I won't give you the details because we're not allowed to, but I will tell you what happened a little bit about it, how it leads to this, how it ties in. So I was chosen into the courtroom with 24 other people. And, you know, the prosecutor was asking questions and the attorney of state and the prosecutor was asking questions and, you know, going around. And then he started talking a little bit about the case, giving information. And then one person kind of broke down crying because there was a trigger. And then when we went on our break, that person was isolated, didn't want to talk, you know, spoke with the officer in charge of that case of organizing the people. And he just gave her water, told her to just be, you know, but she was triggered by that case. Why? Because that case brought a memory. It triggered something within her, a pain point that brought up a memory. And then it was really hard for her to see it, to revisit that. And when we bury those memories, when we don't make peace with them, they revisit us more intensely, more powerfully, because no lesson has been learned. There has been no growth from that experience. So that experience becomes buried as something painful that needs to be forgotten, that we want to forget. What it was, we don't know, and that's okay. But you can observe, right? And come to that conclusion. And yes, it happens. Things can trigger people. And experiences can trigger people. Words can trigger people. Places can trigger people. People can trigger people. So, how to observe these triggers, most of all? Because it is not about not being triggered, but it is about receiving that trigger so that we can learn from it. Oh, something triggered me. What is that? Where is it coming from? And observe it. And why is it there? Maybe I forgot about that. And I need to work on that. So it is not about pushing it away, pushing terrible experiences, negative experiences. You know, I call them difficult experiences. I don't like to say anything negative about them because we reinforce that negative aspect of the experience and then we intensify that negativity. We put more negative energy instead of a space for growth, a space for learning. So a difficult situation. So when we bury those difficult situations, they will come up. They will come up. We have to be ready. We have to be prepared to receive them. At any moment they show up. And this is part of being human. Nothing is wrong and no one can judge you. No one is allowed to judge anyone because we are imperfect too. There are imperfections in being human. So learn from every experience. I could imagine how much pain that person was holding in when she heard what the case was about. I could imagine so many things show up. It could have not even be directly related to her. It could have been related to a family member. Right? And then that triggered something because there's love with our family members. Maybe that family member suffered something. Who knows? We're not here to analyze it, but what I'm here to tell you is that it's really important. I have many people, and I have seen many people that I know there are more things to uncover that needs to be healed. But they are not ready to release it. They are holding on to it. There are many reasons to hold on to pain. You can identify yourself with pain. You don't want to let it go. And some people don't want to accept that pain. So they don't want to deal with it. So people identify themselves with the pain because they want to continue living in that space and continue feeling that space because that is who they think they are. Their whole life is revolving that pain. And if they let it go, they will see, who am I? I'm no longer the pain, but who am I? So that creates confusion. But if they eventually come to terms with it and ask themselves, really, who am I? You will start beginning a soul journey, inner healing journey, self-inquiry with just who am I? It's beautiful. It's very powerful. So the other part is not wanting to let it go. Not wanting to let go of that pain because it's too much to handle. So you prefer to hold the pain, carry the pain because you think you can do it, because you're strong enough to handle that pain. But how long are you strong enough, quote unquote, to handle that pain? How long can you hold on to pain? How long can you live with that pain? Think about it. How long can you live with that pain? It brings heaviness. It's a burden. It's a burden when we don't work through it. And we cannot push ourselves to resolve it until we start doing that self-inquiry. Who am I? You start thinking, am I the pain? Am I the memories? Am I the emotions? Am I the body, the mind, the senses? Then who am I? And once you start that soul journey, that self-inquiry, you will understand many things that I don't have to tell you. So, how to resolve these emotions as they are buried deeper within the body? I see these emotions with the people, and I always ask, is there something more you would like to improve in your life? And when they tell me, and they don't tell me anything of what they're feeling, that they just want to feel peace, joy, and happiness, that's fine too. Because maybe they need that lightness to work with the burden, right? So when they start working on it, they can work on their peace, on their self-care, on their self-love. It eventually comes to the surface, and maybe they are better prepared to handle that situation. Maybe at the time that I asked them once. I don't ask more because I understand what level they want to be, where they want to be, and where they want to go. And I just accompany them. We walk side by side together at their speed, wherever they want to be. Because it cannot be forced. Any healing cannot be forced. And even if you know there are many, many difficult moments in your life, you can only start working through them when you are ready to. Cannot be forced. Even if it feels uncomfortable, you want to get rid of it. It's at the time, perfect timing, when you are ready. And you will know when you are ready. So the emotions are very powerful. Emotions are assigned for us to connect with ourselves, to understand how to process experiences and emotions. So what happens when the person says, I don't feel, no, I don't cry? That person can be numb because it's too painful, and the painful cannot be bared. It's too heavy and they don't want to deal with it. But guess what? The memory is there, the emotion's there. In the long run, they will surface and get triggered like that woman in the courtroom. And then it'll be harder because when it comes, you have no control. And you don't know how to process it. You don't know how to manage it. And it could come out in any place. Perhaps not the most comfortable place to be vulnerable. So the numbness is a shield away from that vulnerability, from experiencing. And that is not healthy either. Even someone who has gone through a lot of pain, I'm going to tell you that pain is power. I know it sounds weird. Listen, I'm not telling you to inflict pain on yourself, but painful experiences are powerful when you process and when you learn from every experience. You are stronger than people who haven't gone through certain experiences. So, if you have gone through many difficult moments, I want to tell you that you are powerful. I'm not saying that you have to go through powerful experiences. Please do not place yourself in that situation. Just saying, if you have gone through those things, there's power when you see it, when you accept them, wow, amazing. You grow from it. And there are many people going through difficult moments. But it's not until you see it, accept it, and choose to learn and grow from it that you can heal it and use that strength. It reminds me of these, like, I don't know what games they are, but they're games that eat fruits and they have like a superpower, right? Think about that. Like, you get a fruit and now you have like another superpower in the game, right? Or you get a shield and it's another sword and you eat something. It's like your power is growing. So when you go through this, you accept, you choose to grow and learn from it. You no longer carry the pain. Now you are growing and choosing power over pain. You are carrying power. Just like when you eat that fruit, you gain that power, that strength. So think about that. And do not give power to those painful moments. Accept them because they will give you power. You don't need to give them power. They will give you power when you accept them. And you're not the only one. Many people are going through many things or have gone through many things. I just wanted to let you know that you are stronger than those difficult moments. And your emotions are teaching you, so observe them, witness them. And just ride the wave. That's the wave of life. And we're here to just ride and learn and grow each moment. Nothing else. So I send you so much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Hari Om. Many blessings.